Welcome to the Cable Advisory Committee meeting of April 11th, 2023. This meeting is being held remotely as an alternative means of public access pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 and all applicable laws, temporarily amending certain provisions of the open meeting law. You are hereby advised that this meeting and all communications during this meeting may be recorded by the town of Hingham in accordance with the open meeting law. If any participant wishes to record this meeting, please notify the chair at the start of the meeting in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, so that the chair may inform all other participants of said recording. So I don't think anyone else is going to record. So roll call, we have Michelle Balconi, we have John Rice, John Lawler on the committee, and then by phone we have our counsel Bill Solomon on audio. Press on here. That is a roll call. So John, you were explaining earlier about the minutes, where we are with minutes. Yes, no, maybe.
So I may not have
That's okay. It's all right.
sent them all out, but I have them all, so I can send them all out today.
All right, send them out today, and then we can plow through them.
Okay.
Okay. So first up, unfortunately I had to be up in New Hampshire when the meeting was held for. So John, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you get us up to date on what's happening with the Verizon renewal update?
Sure. Well, we Bill Solomon zoomed in, and I personally attended, and Michelle was there as well. And we were on the select board agenda on the Verizon agreement, and we discussed it with the select board, and they approved what we were proposing in terms of the main issues that were still at hand. The one main issue being that the representative of Verizon, the council that he had been working with, Paul Train, had only agreed to do the $31,000 for the capital per year, with the payment schedule being over a 3-year period. And the rationale is that when they compared it to the Comcast deal, which we had signed, after the last Verizon deal, basically it was a much more generous deal than even Comcast had given us. So it was kind of hard to negotiate up from there, like we had discussed, because it really was about as far as they were going to go without it stalling the whole deal. So we, the select board agreed, the town manager agreed, and we had them have them pass it as it was right there in terms of just agreeing that that's the stance we ought to take. Obviously, the final passage of it will have to go in front of the select board. And I guess Bill's on the line now, so he can maybe give us an update as to whether he's spoken to Paul and perhaps an idea of like how long it's going to take for Verizon Corporate to execute the plan, so we can get it in front of the board in the next few weeks.
Great. Sure, good summary. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Good summary, John. I think what he sent is the final. So I think it's all set vis-a-vis Verizon. I'll double check that, but what he sent is these are the execution license. We have some question or issue or concern, which I don't. So I just say a few things in summary. One is on the legal issues, and the legal issues are really important. I mean, they actually, to me, and as I look at it, matter more than a dollar difference here or there. There's some things that are still up in the air with these guys that I make sure that we got here. We got the 270 days, correct? And so
Yes.
That's important. Not everyone has that. The indemnification provision, I really wanted to get rid of one section, and the way I do it is I reached an agreement after many months and acting on that, and I've been trying to use that. But once in a while they're fighting back, I push back and make sure I get what I need. So we got that here. There's a provision on operating procedures that they want the town or Access Corp to get access users to indemnify everyone in the world, including Verizon, and that's a no-go. So we were able to get every legal issue we wanted, and that's even beside the paradigm issues I always talk about, the bundling provision, which is the best in the state. So I'm very happy with the legal provisions. I calculate the PEG grant, as you know, a million ways. And sometimes it's better to simplify it. And simplifying it would be, as I calculated, and I went over with Dave again today, that Verizon's paying 66% more per subscriber than Comcast. 66% more. When you take what they're paying and you divide by the subscriber numbers, they have fewer. They're paying 66% more. And that's why it was going to be difficult to get them to go up from there. And I talked to Dave and also John. I was reluctant to do it because, the reason I can get a good license is that, I don't fight on things that are not the right fight. That there's some honorability among cable attorneys, even if not, as mentioned in the Godfather about attorneys, that it didn't feel right. And I was concerned that Paul had come to this number. It was a good number. He was trying to give Hingham, who he cares about, and myself a good capital number. And I was concerned that if we tried to go for a little bit more and, had him go back to Verizon, it may well be that Verizon really doesn't, and this is, I think, common, doesn't get into the number that much. They accept his analysis. And I thought that we potentially had a downside with that. So very happy with the PEG capital number. 66% more is a much larger premium than Comcast normally pays. They typically want to pay a 15% premium. So with that said, I think we're done. And it's a excellent license on language and law and policy. And it's a strong capital number that we get paid in, if I remember, less than 3 years. So I think that's great.
So when do you think we can book this to the select board for them to pass it?
Well,
are we on track for that meeting we had discussed before?
I think the license. I mean, I proofread them a million times. I might look at it again, but I think the license is fully done. So I think we're all set. And I think by Paul sending it as he did, and I'll confirm this, he's sending what is a fine for a final license for Verizon and has their blessing. So I think we're all set and we're done. That said, I'll take a look at it one more time. I'll double check with him. But I have before. And so I think we're all set to send it to the board this week.
Okay, great. So, I mean, we need a little time to get it on the agenda there. Dave, have you reserved one part in addition to what we did on the 4th? You have a date in mind on which select board meeting we're on?
They meet on Tuesdays, so I guess we can just.
But let me just say, if you have the license, whatever the heck the date is, the 18th, whatever it is, then I mean that's the day where the license is. The license, we have to change it if we're picking another date. But I picked that date because we coordinated with Heidi, I believe, and so I mean I thought we were set for the board's date to vote on it.
I'll double check with them to make, but they do have to sign off in a meeting, right? Yeah. But what's the meeting?
What date does the license say? Do you have it before you? 18th or 20 something? Or
I think the current license that is expiring is April 22nd.
Yeah, but all right. Well, maybe that's then the date. But I think we had a date. Anyway, I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
You don't have to always change the date. With Verizon, the practice sort of is that you have the date of the new license based on the expiration, or if you go past that, you pick whatever date they vote
Right.
is the date the license is. But
Yep. That's fine.
you can check with Heidi, I think it is.
Is Paul's signature from the, who will sign it from the Verizon side? In terms of,
They're listed on the back page when the board signs it, however they sign it, and then they can send it the signature page to me. I'll sign it and email it back, scan it and email it back. Everyone's all right with, and then we'll send it to Paul to get the Verizon signature, and they're pretty good on getting it back.
okay.
So I've got the signature page. Who has to sign on the page? I have all the select board signs. That would be Ramsey, Klein, Fisher. Bill has to sign, and then Verizon we have Kevin M. Service, and
Yeah.
approved as to form law department. That's probably Paul, right?
No, they have their corporate attorney
Okay.
sign that, and I'll give. I can send it tomorrow to you, Dave and John. I do a little motion. I'll send to you and John just look at, and we'll give it to the board if they want to use it.
All right.
I don't think it's going to take that long to get the board
No.
to sort of sign off on this because we've already really discussed it all
Yeah.
and they agreed to the terms.
That's one less thing we have to track. That's good. That's
Right.
goodness. All right, Bill, I appreciate all your hard work on this and the committee. And we will press on with the rest of us. You don't have to sit through the rest of this meeting. All right, Bill?
All right, thanks,
Good.
Bill.
I'll leave you for your business. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your
Bill.
time.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
that's good. We got that done. See, when I don't show up, things go a lot faster, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, next up, I want to know what's going on with the
Phew.
Harbor Meter addendum. Anybody? I have no idea where we are.
Yes, so
Oh,
that also was presented at the select board last week, and
Okay.
they agreed upon the language that was written by John Coughlin, and that the CAC made a recommendation to accept.
Yeah.
So that went forward. I did contact them the next day and ask for the written copy that they would sign and our board would sign, so I can give it to our auditor and be done with it. But all good.
Excellent. Just for my little paperwork, whatever, if you could send me a PDF of the signed one, we'll get that in our.
Yeah, I'll share that for sure.
Okay.
I can just say that
That worked out really well, I thought, last week.
Good.
I would say that the select board meeting was very productive. They asked a lot of good questions about the what ifs, with the
Yeah.
Verizon going in out, what we would have to do, try to sort of answer their questions as best I could in terms of, what the town really would be looking at and what they would have to do. Let them know a little bit about that legislation that Joan Machino is trying to marshal through the State House. So, I think they're getting a little bit more aware of what some of the issues are that we're dealing
Good.
with.
By the way, I invited Joan, Representative Moschino, to this meeting, and she did already have a commitment, but she said, please let her know she will speak at the next one if we can just get ahead on her calendar. So when you all pick a date for May, I'll email Jordy, her representative.
Okay. And I'm more than willing in my liberal style to do a sort of a heads up, Joan's coming, PSA kind of thing that we can put on the channel so we can get a little more visibility.
I did reach out. I contacted Margie Sullivan, who's the chairman of Harbor Media, who's a friend, and asked her to put me in touch with the executive director at the Motion Picture Coalition, who's done quite a bit of lobbying on the motion picture tax credits.
Yeah.
Margie said to me that, they spent a lot of money on lobbying for that. And, whether the cable access folks have that, mass access has that kind of resources, we tend to doubt it. But I thought, anyway, I haven't heard back from him yet. I'll continue to pursue him. I think really the two major tracks in terms of that legislation moving forward is to the constituencies that are most obviously affected by it are the mass access folks. as well as the towns themselves. So
Yeah.
there are different municipal organizations that would have to get involved. There's a couple of movers and shakers in that if that bill is going to get anywhere, any kind of traction up on the State House, there's going to have to be some advocacy on the part of the towns, I think, most importantly. And secondarily, I think the mass access people.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you all saw my email I sent it to the CAC group list. Pretty thorough update from Representative Moschino about how many people there are in the House and the Senate. There are two bills going concurrently, one in the House, one in the Senate, and they both have a majority of support, it looks like. So hopefully good things. This was introduced, I think, nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah, and Joan has also told me that, there's 8,000 bills and only a fraction of them go through, and they go up to the buzzsaw of the speaker, and next thing you know, they lie in a heap someplace. So it's important to do that lobbying. I think that's why that motion picture coalition organization really succeeded, because they took a barrage. Every 2 or 3 years there'd be somebody would be getting on there, saying these aren't worth it. This is, including things like editorials in the Globe or whatever it was, whatever organization didn't believe it was a value to the industry. So we would maybe face a little bit of the same issues. Probably a good idea for the mass access people about how they can show the value and the benefit of cable access, to the towns, to people in a much broader way,
Yeah, they are actively lobbying, and they send out updates to the mass access list, quite frequently. Your point is well taken. They don't have the same lobby money behind them, and also the towns should get involved, because the towns actually would receive a percentage of that money that would be unrestricted. That's unlike cable funding, which is restricted.
Ooh.
So the towns, the Commonwealth itself, and community television would all be recipients of that additional funding.
Wow. Is it worth asking where O'Connor, our senator, is, or no? On this?
Yeah, he supports it. Dave DeCoste supports it, because it was
Can you
more.
hear me? I'm sorry, my signal is going a little fluid. Can I hear you, Dave? Yeah,
I can hear you.
Sometimes my wireless sometimes shifts to my downstairs wireless, willy-nilly. You just all froze.
All of the what I consider local South Shore representatives and state senators are co-sponsors, actually, and or support it. I don't think Dave DeCoste is a co-sponsor, but I know he supports it, and he represents the Norwalk community. So
I mean, I know that one of the things that the Motion Picture Coalition did that was very effective, they produced some very good videos that they had their member organizations do that were, explainers, about what kind of benefit it gives to the Commonwealth, what kind of economic engine it does, how it creates jobs, how it, a number of different things that it did. And I think it would be a good idea for, mass access to think about getting some of their members to collaborate on something like that. Because sometimes you only get one shot at these things,
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? All right. We'll schedule. I'll figure out the date on my end, and then if you want to be a liaison, Michelle, with Joan, so we only have one person yelling at her, that'd be great. Do you think we should, before I close off on this, do you think we should just have her be the main agenda item, or we need, how much time do we think we need?
I think it would be nice if we had Representative Moschino and Senator O'Connor, because then they can each talk about the House and the Senate bill.
Okay.
They both have bills for this.
Okay, so why don't we kind of, I mean, we obviously have to do the pre-stuff, but it'll be just them. We don't do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, Heather's not here, so I don't really know where we are with the education agreement. Did we talk about that with it, between now and when I was out running around? I haven't heard anything.
John, I think, did you actually have an update on that, John?
I mean, I don't think that, I think Heather was going to be involved with that. I think that I brought it up in one of the meetings I had with Art to say that the town really needs to kind of pay attention and get that done, but I haven't heard back from Art about it. I think Tom is in agreement with it, and I think wasn't Paul on the court of the education department now to say, yeah, we agree with what everybody's sort of saying. I think it's sort of pretty much agreed to by all the parties.
I just want to get it signed off so that we can all agree how we're going to go forward. And I know that Heather was entertaining the club thing and all that.
Wasn't this something that Tom could sign off on though? That wasn't necessarily a select board.
Oh yeah, this is in his purview. We don't have to do the select board.
Okay, so we just maybe give Tom a call and say let's get it done.
All right, I'll follow up with him and find out what the story is on that. I don't think it's a big deal, but I'd like to kind of move it forward. Heather seems to be, a good resource to help us move this. So that'd be.
I'm pretty sure she and Dr. Adams had a replacement language. I think it was maybe one sentence.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's fine. I think that Heather gets what. Our concerns in the past, and I think she's going to, she's coming in new, she's a new guy, etc. I think that she's got some great ideas on how to move it forward. So I just want to, get at least the legal paperwork in place, and everyone says, yeah, that's what we're going to do, kind of thing. So next up, programming. You got any programming updates you want to do, Michelle? I know you sent out your monthly newsletter, which I haven't had a chance to go through, but anything you want to highlight?
Yeah, let us know, if you have any questions. A couple of updates that come to mind is some projects that took quite a while working with organizations in the community have been finished and being finished. One of which is really interesting, Hingham Unity Council's Black History timeline in Hingham. It is so interesting, and the interviews are very compelling. And Hingham Unity Council did all of the research. And because we've worked with them on other projects, Christina, one of our more senior producers, took that on to make it a video series. So it is a series of episodes on Black history in Hingham. Another project that took quite a long time is working with Hingham Net Zero, but it followed a resident through the process of converting his home heating and cooling system to heat pumps, and also involves the Hingham Municipal Light Plant. Because they hired a company to work with residents. Basically, it's a consultant group that will help a resident every step of the way through the conversion. And so that video, I just saw the approval about 2 hours ago from the resident who helped produce the video and shot some of the footage. So those are two kind of highlights right now. And then for upcoming, we have a production week in the field actually with John Rice on the committee, and then local on-camera talent and producer and script writer Maura Farden. So they're going to do some stand-ups in a few locations around Hingham this week over 2 days of shooting with our crew, manning some cameras along with John directing, John and Maura scripted. I appreciated they asked me to kind of weigh in on some of the scripting. So basically these stand-ups will air to tee up a block, the history block, the nature block, air before some of our Know Your Town series or our Harbor Lights, our government programming, to just really bring more of a professional network feel to our channels. So it's very exciting. We appreciate John and Maura. Hopefully you guys see the thank yous in every email. And then it's good for our staff too. Look what our staff get to be involved with, network quality production, so we're excited about that this week.
No, wait till we shoot it, and then we'll see how network quality.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's not get hasty. Yeah. John and I introduced
another programming update. This just in. I can announce something that is news on this meeting, and that is that we have a change in our co-hosts this year for the live 4th of July parade coverage.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Who?
So we'll have a new dynamic duo. Yeah. I'm here to announce that Maura Farden and Robert Shinante
Oh, Robert, okay.
Shore Conservatory. Both people are very good on camera, folks. Will be our co-hosts this year
You're gonna have the
4th of July parade.
phones on and the whole thing.
Yeah, they'll be doing the interviews and the play-by-play of the live coverage for 4th of July. So we're thrilled that they both agreed to do that. So
They could interview me and when I come panting down to the finish line. Like,
come straight from the race.
wow. Yeah, John and I did have a session with Robert a while back on maybe doing some more stuff with him, the two, whatever. So thought that might be interesting to get them kind of fired up. Previously I'd worked with their media guy for the stuff I was doing for them, but they have not since, as I understand it, replaced that position. So stay tuned. We're trying to get more stuff for the conservatory on there. See what happens.
Yeah, so we've done quite a few things, and I'm meeting with Robert next week too about some new things.
Yeah. So I didn't put any. I don't think we got any CAC requests. I didn't. John, did you pick us up some lawn signs? What's my lawn sign? Yes. No.
No, I haven't seen those. I don't know. I was waiting for another one of another package from Amazon.
I heard that they were already there.
We'll have to check in Kaylee's office because I know she's given a lot out. Next time you're in the office, that we see John now a lot, which is nice. So I'll just put it right in front of my door.
All right. Because we want to replace the ones. Well, actually, I don't think mine is out there anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway.
Kids, teenagers.
Teenagers, yeah. The dog's got it. Yeah. So, anywho,
I did a shoot this morning at the Hingham Middle School for Harbor Media with a little behind the scenes we're doing on the middle school musical Shrek. Shrek Junior, I think they call it actually.
Shrek Junior, yeah.
Yes, Shrek Junior.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice piece.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
With a cameo by John Rice. No. That's
not me. Why, you think I could play the ogre? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, you could probably play the ogre and I could do the Wicked Witch. No, never mind. All right, I think that's it for me. And I'll work on getting the right date with my schedule and everybody else's schedule. And then it'll be our state representatives, local representatives meeting on the cable access stuff. I think that on that point, I think I would like to emphasize, since of my advocacy work with Alzheimer's, what could local citizens do aside from, that's Jones, what is there anything that we could do at a personal level kind of thing to move this particular initiative forward? And I think that'd be illuminating. We'll see how that goes.
Dave, I guess we will probably have to put on the agenda next meeting, just sort of because we have obligations in our production agreement with our media in terms of, obviously we've talked about different requests to get clarification on different aspects of the agreement, but ultimately there's a reporting that needs to be done to us first and then to the select board. So we need to start thinking about a timing on that and in what format, what kind of document we're going to see and what kind of presentation we'll see to be able to do that yearly reporting, which is delineated in the agreement.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, I do have a date. I have a tentative date for May is May 9th at 7 o'clock. So if you want to, everybody have a problem with that? May 9th?
Let me look.
Going once, going twice?
No, I think May 9th's good. Okay.
Okay. Why don't we start with that, Michelle? May 9th. It will be a Zoom meeting unless you guys.
That works for me too.
What's that?
Michelle, you know what we're referring to, right? The aspect in the agreement where the reporting, at the end of the year reporting is done. Is that something you'd be prepared to do by then, or do you need more time?
By May 9th?
Yes.
No, I should be in good shape, and that should include all of our financials. Like I said, our auditor just needed that final bit.
Okay, and then get on a select board, whenever, a week, 2, 3 weeks later, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So 7 o'clock, yeah, ask Joan and Patrick if they can make that. I'll do the logistics. We will do a Zoom meeting. We won't do a hybrid unless you guys want to truck over to the town hall, but I don't think I want to do that. So, okay. Going once, do I hear a motion?
Well, there might be some screen share stuff. I think it would be a good idea because it is a part of it, to maybe think about either showing a reel or something or that kind of thing. Or that's generally how it's been done in the past. That was one of the values of doing it in person, is that it's a little bit better quality. Sometimes video can or cannot be so.
Are you talking about the annual reports?
Yeah, like there was usually a presentation and sometimes there would be screenings of programming.
I could say that is not in my plan because the past, 2 or 3 years that I've prepared them now, they were all on the thumb drives, which I did hear that nobody liked the thumb drive. So I started last year with Tom's request doing them in binders for the select board library. So we printed out 22, 21. Anyway, I went back to 2018 prior years and put together binders because that was the preferred delivery method. But no, I don't have a video. I don't have it planned in our schedule to do a video for annual year report.
Or it's just that because based on the new agreement, the idea is not to go direct to select board first, but to come to the committee first.
I was talking about the delivery method. I didn't. I'm making a video. It's all reporting.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a whole new way of doing it, then that's fine too. I'm just saying what we used to do in the past. That was the way it was sort of presented in the past.
Yeah, do you guys have those? Because I would like to see them, but because all in the archives that I have, they're all documents. It's financial reports, it's programming reports, it's inventory, it's lists of how many volunteers we had. All of that. I didn't see any video format.
We weren't given, I mean, we were in live meetings and they were bringing their own media and showed it. They never gave it to us.
And it wasn't an ascertainment meeting?
Well, that was different. The ascertainment meetings were to prove to the cable companies that there was interest. That was a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was a video like that because I was familiar with the
no, I mean, they come in and they do a highlight video, or they would then talk about the categories they did. They talk about their plans for programming and programming development in the future. They talk about their budget and how they performed with it. Talk about how much staff they have, what their needs are, their plans are. It's really just a complete, how many training sessions they did, how many members did they grow with. It's all of the stuff that's delineated in our agreement that we would want to know, and if you want to put it into a binder or a format you think would be better, then we're fine with that. I'm just telling you what was done in the past. It was usually done as a dog and pony show.
Yeah, no, I'm super interested because every year we do the annual video, which is a summary, but that definitely doesn't check the boxes. That's more for the viewer to see who we are, what we do.
Yeah, it's a sizzle reel.
Yeah, it's a sizzle reel. It doesn't check the boxes for the annual report. But for the annual reports, when I did my first one, I looked all the way back to 2017 or 2018, whatever I could find, and obviously mapped it to the agreement. And then we have a new agreement since last May, so there are additional reporting items. And that's when Tom said really the best format was a binder so that town admin, members of the public could go into that select board library that they have and comb through financial reports, inventory reports. So the video intrigues me. And I'm glad you brought it up, but it wasn't on my list of preparation this year. But if you have an old one, I would love to see it.
Yeah, like I said, they never really gave it to us as a file. They always just brought it in live. I mean, we certainly could talk about it a little bit more. That would be, I mean, it would be a value that people are going to watch this telecast too, in terms of knowing more about the overview of what you do. And it could just be some categories that you want to discuss. Like for education, we did these kinds of shows. For the public, we had members, we had 5 different members. Here's 4 different examples of different members that we work with. government meetings, we covered these following, plus events, plus this, plus that, nonprofit groups that we work with, and we partnered with South Shore, Hingham History, et cetera, et cetera.
So it's like a video annual report.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's, ultimately, if there's going to be any kind of judgment on like how's it going, it's like seeing what's being done is really the bottom line. The money is the money,
Yeah. No, I mean,
If you do a thumb drive, I'd like one, because I have a little stack here.
yeah. Well, and I could do a thumb drive because I have them all on Google Drive from, I think, 2017, 2018. And they're all in folders. So those could go on a thumb drive very easily, but they're also, all the binders are in the select board office.
Okay, good. All right.
And
John Lawler's not on a thumb drive. He's in the cloud someplace,
He's in the cloud. Come on, we need to keep him on board here. Oh, which brings me to, has anyone made any progress on we had a couple people joining our little merry band? I know, Michelle, you had somebody. Am I supposed to be?
they said they filled out the talent forms.
Okay.
Kristen Root and Vicki Donlan. They said they both filled out the talent forms, but they haven't heard back.
Okay. So.
Then that's the town having inertia. I guess we'll have to push that, Dave.
Okay. And how about you? You had somebody, didn't you?
Well, Maura said she would do it, but I still have to kind of press her. Maybe I'll talk to her the next couple of days.
Okay.
I did ask somebody else, but she had to pass because she had some family issues and thought she'd be good. But we should continue to push.
All right. So thanks for telling me. If they filled them out, then I'll find out what's going on. And because we're a little thin here, to put it mildly.
Vicki Donlan, she was on the recreation committee for many years, right? And she was also, I think, rec director, right?
Yeah. In fact, she was going to attend tonight, but they have a meeting at the same time.
Right.
Okay. She's still on the rec commission.
She is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's running for re-election, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hopefully she has time then.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually I'm thinking of doing another spot for the channels on, come on, join the team, that kind of thing. I just get more visibility. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion.
I talk about the production grant.
Oh, production grant. Okay. Production grant.
Is that what you were going to say, John?
No. We could do that.
Okay.
Do that.
Yep. So last week I forwarded all the materials to our board members to review.
Okay.
Now that the amendment has been agreed upon by the town, and so I sent the press release, frequently asked questions. We already have some PR and advertising lined up. So all I had to do was tell those organizations it's a go. And so we're hoping to launch this thing the 1st of May and open up the application. We have an ad appearing in South Shore Magazine. I just got that final artwork today. We have 30-second video spots that will air at the Loring and the Shipyard. We have PR editorial planned with the Anchor, as well as an ad campaign and some other outlets. So that seems to be moving ahead. We have a coming soon page on our website. It's the second tab. It's right next to home. And we have some information on there already for folks. And then when our video is approved, we have a board meeting this Friday, and I hope to have all of these items approved: the press release, the promo video. We have a 90-second video and a 30-second video, those materials. And then we'll be, spreading the word by the 1st of May, by the first week of May, I should say.
I did do the edit to the letter, letters to the editor. I did that.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, not a problem.
I mean, we did brief the select board. They had a lot of questions about the production grant. We're excited about it. I think very much in favor of it. I would just say, I think you got to think about doing, you probably have, but some outdoor stuff, some posters. A lot of people in town, I think, see stuff in, whether it's Nona's or it's, coffee shops, things like that. You can't underestimate the value of the place-based media, for that. It's simple to do, just, somebody's got to go over and spend an afternoon just putting them up, because I think not everybody gets on the online thing. You get the people where they are. I do think that, we need to, what the hard part of it is just try and figure out how we can keep it sort of Hingham centric as well, what the
Right.
criteria is going to be
Right.
for, judging from the point of view of programming that would really be of interest to people in Hingham. Does it have to be just about Hingham? Probably not, but wouldn't be a bad thing if it was about Hingham, I suppose, in one form or another, whether it's a person, a history, a place, a thing, whatever it might be. It just, that serves your mission as well. So I think that's what we kind of have to.
Yeah, someone stopped by today because they've heard about the possibility of this coming and the select board meeting last week approving, and they have an idea to do multi-episodes on different Channel Islands out in the harbor adjacent to Hingham that folks, if they're boaters in Hingham, are probably exploring.
Yeah, that stuff like that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's, like you say, hyper local. It should be, but well done too, and with good teams. And I do encourage that it's going to be, producers and content people from Hingham, but they don't necessarily have to crew it all, or they could hire a photographer from another place. I think that's fine. Whatever they need to do to make it a really excellent program is really what's most important.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing the swap shop Thursday.
I think Sebastian's meeting you there, isn't it,
That's
Sebastian?
right.
Yeah.
He's gonna run the camera for me.
Yeah.
The swap shop is this whole little universe, but that's a different story.
I brought something over there the other day.
What'd you dump? What'd you dump?
I was getting rid of something in my basement. I'm trying to think what it was.
Dave, did you see our Know Your Town on the swap shot? Did you see
Furniture, I
it
think.
last year?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you saw that so that yours, it's kind of springboards.
Yeah, no, they're kind of having the same problem that I'm kind of having. Is it's hard to get volunteers, and it's they're willing to complain about the swap shop, but they don't necessarily volunteer. So we're trying to alleviate that. So we're gonna have another little pitch. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Motion to adjourn by anybody?
I'll
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Seconded.
Second.
All right. John Rice, yes, no.
Yes.
Vote on this, yes. John Lawler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Jones, yes.
But could I ask you
So,
to just stay online with me for a minute afterwards?
Sure. All right, you guys can fall off, and I can.
Okay, great.
stop-
See you
stop
guys later.
recording. To contact the Hingham Cable TV Advisory Committee, you can reach us at cac@hingham-ma.gov, or you can visit our webpage at the link shown here, or just scan the QR code. Thanks for watching.